لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك
Miles away, oceans apart, never in my sight, but always in my heart. Love is always.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وعلى آله أهل الله وأصحابه رجال الله. إن أول بيت وضع للناس للذي ببكة مباركا وهدى للعالمين فيه آيات بينات مقام إبراهيم ومن دخله كان آمنا ولله على الناس حج البيت من استطاع إليه سبيلا ومن كفر فإن الله غني عن العالمين. Listeners all over the nation, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. It is your program, our program, Guests of Allah, on 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja. We apologize that the program could not come your way yesterday as planned, due to some circumstances beyond our immediate control. I hope and wish that our apology is accepted. Today, it is your brother in Islam again, in person of Imam Abdurrahman Olajide Oyediran, as I'll be discussing with you today, shedding more light on issues that are associated with Hajj, and inshallah, in a short while, we are going to have in the studio the commissioner for from National Hajj Commission is going to join us very soon. He is in charge of management of Hajj and licensing of what is it called? Agents in charge of Hajj operation. Is going to join us very soon. But before then, and inshallah, let me put my listeners on notice that inshallah is going to shed more light on where it stopped last week, where it discussed with our listeners about Hajj planning. When you intend to embark on Hajj, how you can plan yourself, despite the fact that it entails a lot of things, especially the financial aspect of it. The money is much, but it made us understand that regardless of your financial status, anybody can embark on Hajj, provided that you are sane, you are an adult, you are a Muslim, and you believe in Allah. Regardless of your status, if you plan well, you can, save your money. There's a particular account that National Hajj Commission has set aside for whoever that intends to embark on Hajj to contribute the money gradually, little by little, and he told us the advantage therein. Is going to shed more light on that inshallah today, and some other contending issues that we want him to clarify for better understanding of our listeners, especially those who intend to embark on Hajj this year and subsequently, inshallah. We hope that is going to join us as soon as possible. But before it comes, it is my happiness to be with you again this afternoon and discuss further some of important issues that we need to know as intending pilgrims. We discussed about common mistakes that pilgrims do make while in Hajj. When you are in Hajj, especially when you are inside the Holy Mosque in Mecca to embark on Umrah, if you intend to embark on Umrah first before Hajj, it is expected of us that you are in state of Ihram. Ihram is that white garments that men do put on. Two sets of white garments. One will be used to cover your down parts of the body, to tie around your waist, while the other one will be used to cover the upper parts of the body. Before you get to the Holy Mosque, while you have already put on the garments, the one at the upper part of your body is expected to cover the whole thing. That is, both your hands will be inside the cloth. You cover yourself up. But the moment you get inside the Holy Mosque and you are to embark, you are to start circumambulation round the Kaaba, you remove the right hand outside. Then you cover through your armpits, then finish it at the upper shoulder, upper left shoulder. That's how it's gonna be. Your right hand will be outside, while the left hand will be under the cloth. And like we said about 2 weeks ago, that I asked our Imam, Dr. Babamale, who is unfortunately not here with us today, that what are those things expected of whoever that is perhaps when you are circumambulating round the Kaaba, what is expected of you to do? There is nothing to do or to be done other than praising Allah and chanting His praises in whatever way you understand. But the best of the language to be used is that of Arabic. First of all, you start by, telling Allah that I have come to answer your call. Labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Labbaik la sharika laka labbaik. Innal hamda wa ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. That's, oh Allah, I have come to answer your call. Oh my Lord, I have come to answer your call. I have come to answer your call, you that owns in your custody the control and dominion over the heavens and earth. I will not associate anything with you. I have come to answer your call. That is the meaning of what every pilgrim is saying while approaching Kaaba and while inside the Kaaba during circumambulation. And after that, you can also chant many other, remembrance of Allah, like Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wala ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. We have them, differently, too numerous to mention on the program, but we all know there's no Muslim who doesn't know one adhkar or the other. Even if you do not know any other thing to say, you can be chanting astaghfirullah. You can be seeking blessings from Allah upon the noble soul of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which we also have it in different patterns. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa sallim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa sallim kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma salli wa sallim. We have them as numerous as you can remember. So these are the things you do while you are doing your tawaf. And as soon as you finish, one of the mistakes people do make is trying to make sure that you touch the Kaaba. There is nothing spectacular in touching the Kaaba. What is expected of you is just to circumambulate around it and be chanting the praise of Allah and seeking a blessing from Him over the noble soul of Prophet Muhammad. And if you have any request that you want to ask, that point, it's a place that whatever you ask of Him is gonna grant it. It is not compulsory that you must touch the Kaaba. The black stone that is at the edge, one of the edges of Kaaba, it is expected of you that as you are getting to that point where the black stone is, you can just point at it, then kiss your hand. It's as good as you have touched and kissed the stone. It is recommended that if you can kiss it, fine. But because of large crowd and many people's heart are yearning to get there, touch it, perhaps kiss it, it may be very difficult. And we've seen over the years that despite the large crowd, a lot of people will still want, in fact, you will see people line up. Perhaps they have finished the circumambulation 7 times, and you will see them line up, arranged by the police around the place. It is just uncalled for. That is not what will determine Allah answering your prayer, and that is not what will describe you or identify you as the most pious one before Allah, or the one whose Hajj or Umrah will be first accepted by Allah. It is not compulsory at all. It is just recommended, So if the large crowd around that place makes it practicably impossible, it is not compulsory. Just do your circumambulation, ask Allah for your request, and your desires will be granted. When you get to Kaaba, as tour instructor, I've led people a few times to the Holy Land, and we do tell people, And if you can listen to instruction, you would not have problem. Like one of our guests said about a week or two ago, that the problem pilgrims do have is if you do not listen to instruction. Listening to instruction, I've been to some places around the world, and whenever I traveled outside the shore of Nigeria, people will be asking, have you been there before? Because I ask questions and I read around. And for those who are unlettered, that you cannot read either English or Arabic, listen to your tour instructor is very, very important. When you listen, you will not have any problem, because you are doing circumambulation around thousands of people at the same time. Of course, movement will be slowed down. Though you see some people, I wouldn't want to mention country and all that so that I will not offend anybody, but you see some people guiding their wives. You will see like 10, 15, 20 giant men, holding themselves together, and you will see their women in front of them, so they don't want any other man's body to touch them. This also is not ideal. It's not ideal. Sometimes it slows down your movement. Sometimes it keeps you away from, you sometimes want to lose focus. But if it happens, you cannot do away with that. Things like that. What we do tell our pilgrims from Nigeria is that even if you are not going to line up diagonally, you can form a straight line. Then hold yourself. Make sure that until you finish the 7th one, you do not lose touch. So, inshallah, our listeners, please join us after the break. Don't go away.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك له لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك له لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك
miles away, oceans apart, never in my sight, but always in my heart. Love is always.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Welcome back on our program, Guest of Allah, which is coming your way from 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja. I remain your anchor man on the program, Imam Abdurrahman Olajide Oyediro. With me in the studio this afternoon is my dear brother in Islam, Abdullahi Osman Liman. Please greet our listeners.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Good afternoon.
What do you have for us?
Okay, good afternoon, Abuja. It feels good to be on another exciting edition of our favorite program, Guest of Allah. And this time we are discussing Hajj matters. Actually, I will be updating us on a few developments as regards Hajj and preparations as we have in the media so far. If we could recall last week, the Chairman National Hajj Commission, Alhaji Zekrullah Kulli Hassan, inaugurated the national media team of Hajj, and where he made some informations known to us. For example, he said the inaugural flights for the Hajj will be moving on, will be departing Abuja, that is on the 25th. But before then, he had informed us that there will be an advanced team comprising of members and staffs of National Hajj Commission who will be departing Abuja, that is the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, for Saudi Arabia, inshallah. And on Sunday, this Sunday, that is the 21st of May 2023, they departed Abuja for Saudi Arabia.
MashaAllah.
So hopefully we are also expecting that by the 25th, as scheduled, the first set of pilgrims will be departing Abuja. That is pilgrims from Nasarawa State will be departing Abuja for Saudi Arabia, inshallah. And then subsequently we'll see what happens from there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that update. I think hopes are high now. Most of the intending pilgrims now, many of them, they won't be able to sleep with their two eyes closed now. Their spirit will have departed Nigeria and been in the Holy Land. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease their affairs and make their going and return easier for them, and accept their that aspect of ibadah from them. You never can tell. There are some who do not intend, or who do not even know that they are going to be there, that by now they are not aware, and it will just happen within the twinkle of an eye. If I'm going to be one of them, may Allah make it easy, and you also, my brother, and whoever that Allah is going to call or has called that is not aware, may Allah make it easy for us. As I was discussing with us, one of the common mistakes people do make is, like Allah says in the Quran, that whoever that is in the Holy Land for pilgrimage, la rafatha wala fusuqa wala jidala fil hajj. You don't engage in argument, especially unnecessary argument. Honestly. If at all there's going to be anything of such, it should be about the religion, and the one that is going to increase you in knowledge, and through which you are going to be rewarded by Allah. Not that you are in Hajj and your home country's kind of unnecessary argument follow you to Hajj, and you are arguing on Arsenal and Chelsea, politics, Tinubu and whoever. No.
Everybody.
You're going there to worship Allah holistically. You don't engage in arguments. You don't bully yourself. You don't engage in fight. Even if before you leave your country there's a rift between Mr. A and B, you make sure that it is settled completely before you depart. And even if you meet up over there with whoever that you have, you've had one or two, issue, make sure that by virtue of being in the Holy Land, that issue is settled.
Yes, I was also going to ask, sometimes one of the mistakes that I see pilgrims make, most times when they go for Hajj, especially earlier on, I overheard you mentioning when people get to the Kaaba and so on like that, trying to kiss it and all that. Many people try to maybe want to take selfie, they want to tell the world they are in Makkah and so on like that. Meanwhile, that's supposed to be the point where you make your request and all that.
It's completely uncalled for, but we'll only try our best, continue to enlighten people about it. I do not think it can stop completely. That place is called Holy Land, sacred place, where you have gone to engage with Allah, your creator, completely. It's not a place for social engagements, to begin to take selfie. You see people do it. The moment you are on social media, when you go to Facebook, you see on TikTok, somebody is, Mama Abdurrahman, I am here, I am praying for you, so that she will know that you are praying for her. You do not need to inform. You do not need to record your prayer for whoever, so that person will know that you have prayed for him. If actually you have prayed for that person,
it should be something of the heart.
Sincerely, it should be between you and Allah. You will see we've seen pictures and video recording where people will be praying for some big politicians, some big imams, some big millionaires. I don't want to mention name. It's happening every now and then. It's uncalled for. Do your ibadah, then when you finish, return back to your accommodation, do all other things that you want to do, in accordance with the dictates of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Sharia. Then when it is also time to do ibadah again, return there, do your ibadah and go. I don't do it. I've been there, several times, whether for Hajj or for Umrah, alhamdulillah. And it's not one of I'm not saying, who am I to say you should take me as point of reference because I don't do it. You cannot stop, but it's just uncalled for. We do not need it.
Inshallah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us.
Amen.
All right, and may He protect us and make our supplications acceptable ones. I also wanted to ask you, you earlier on you also mentioned about this issue. How do we manage, you say you were once a tour guide, how do we manage illiterate pilgrims, people who cannot read signs, proper signs, and then, Hajj is very, very big. It's very, very big. So by the time you go to this door and you're going out of that, you are probably going to another place entirely. So, and then many people cannot signs. They don't know how to go back probably to their hotel rooms. So how do we manage? Because sometimes you hear that, okay, this person is missing. He was not found until after a certain number of days and all that.
Well, thank you very, very much for that question. It's very germane. What we do is we make sure that we do not get tired of, giving information and notices to the pilgrims from time to time, and one of the instructions is whenever you want to go for tawaf, whenever you want to go for whatever in the Holy Mosque, make sure that we go in group. When we go in group, there is always, if you cannot read our number is written in Roman numeral, how it is written in Arabic or in English, at least there must be a sign, a landmark to show your people, your pilgrims, that this is where we are going to enter from and this is where we are going to come out from. And you will have shown them to identify a particular thing, that look at this thing.
If you are coming back,
this is what you are going to see as you are going in, and this is what you are also going to see as you are coming back. And you make sure a point of duty that you also go in with them and come out with them. And we do tell them, while we are inside the crowd, inside the mosque, please make sure that we hold ourselves tightly and you don't lose touch. Because the moment, from experience, when you are doing tawaf, a lot of people will take to that instruction, will hold ourselves, manage to do number 1, number 2, number 3. By the time you say number 4, 5, somebody must have lost touch, and he will look and will not see his people again.
The crowd is too much.
The crowd is much. So we do advise them that make sure you don't lose touch. You are not there to watch, to look around. Don't look. Don't lose focus.
No.
Focus on what has taken you there. You understand? Because the moment you lose focus for 30 seconds or even less,
you are gone.
You find out you have mixed, within the crowd, and you won't be seen again.
No.
And we also tell people that it may happen. We cannot completely rule it away, that even if we now finish, you finish your 7 times tawaf and you don't see us, we will have shown them, just come to this point and wait there. We will come and meet you here at this point. Look for this point. It may be a point where you will see a light, whether green light, red light, or any other landmark. When you finish, you don't see your people, come and stay here. And at the same time, we do have uniform that we put on.
Just for identification.
For identification purpose.
No.
You understand? For identification purpose.
Yes.
You may, after your white garment, and women are allowed to wear any color.
Yes.
We may have muffler of a particular color, maybe a blue.
To ID.
To put it around your neck, any color that we choose, or something that will be very unique to identify your people. We'll put it in the neck, then a particular point to meet.
Thank you very much for that very wonderful explanation. I'm sure our listeners are getting educated as time goes on. I wanted to ask also, we could see, maybe I believe it has happened a few times where you see people maybe perhaps getting into trouble as a result of probably not knowing certain laws of the land. But you please hold your thoughts there. Inshallah, we'll go for a short break and we'll be back.
Love is always there, it'll never die, only growing stronger. A tear rolls down my eye. I'm thinking of the time when the day will come, standing there before you, accept this hajj of mine, standing in ihram, making my tawaf, drinking blessings from your well. A challenge of Safa and Marwa rekindles my iman.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Like I said before the commencement of today's program, that we were expecting our father in person of Al-Hajj Abdullah Magaji Hadawa. He is the commissioner in charge of operation and inspectorate and licensing of National Hajj Commission. Is right here with us. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. You ended your discussion with us last week when you were discussing about planning for Hajj, and you made mention of something about a pilgrim, an intending pilgrim can, save his money little by little. Please, can you please shed more light about it?
Yes, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, indeed, last time we were discussing about Hajj saving scheme, which I said it affords the opportunity for small income earners to save gradually to be able to sustain their hope and desire to make Hajj in their lifetime without hitches and creating much more problem. Even those in the middle level of income earners, many times they find it difficult to pay at once and go for Hajj. Some of them end up selling their businesses and properties in order to be able to make Hajj. This scheme provides the opportunity for one to gradually save up to the limit that he will be able to perform the Hajj. And secondly, I said it also gives them the benefit of being intending pilgrims should they be not able to make the Hajj in the long run. They remain intenders. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in his mercy and generosity could recognize them as intending pilgrims.
Alhamdulillah.
So long as they maintain their saving. And thirdly, it inculcates a kind of saving culture among our populace, which is apparently lacking due to their low income status. People hardly eat and therefore they could hardly save. But with this kind of attention, the culture will be sustained and in fact it will be entrenched in the society. And the more you save, the more you accumulate wealth. And that wealth could be invested in viable investment opportunities for the betterment of the entire society. Because there will be beehive of economic activities that will be stimulated. And in the long run, the GDP of the country will improve and everybody will be better off. So saving culture is important. And this project is also equally important because it benefits all the entire society. And another benefit is the economy. As of now, the kind of savings scheme we are implementing is just a stopgap. It's an interim arrangement. We are doing it in collaboration with a commercial bank, Jaiz Bank in particular. Jaiz Bank, when we started, it was about the only commercial bank that is dedicated or operating within the Islamic injunction, as they are fully Sharia compliant in their activities. So that is in tandem with our needs. So it was selected to work with them. So as of now, they are the managers or the funds managers. So all this money, when is pooled through this saving from different individuals, they invest the money, and when they invest, they make profit in return. And this profit is shared among the depositors and the bank as well and other stakeholders. So everybody is better off in that respect. As of now, the arrangement is that depositors, they keep their money in the bank. The money is apparently idle to them. Only the bank benefits from it. And the depositors, they do not benefit materially. And they do not satisfy their conscience that they are intending pilgrims. They are just depositors. So all these benefits are not there. So, but this scheme affords us the opportunity. In the long run, we are hoping to migrate to a full-fledged funds management arrangement.
Okay.
When the Central Bank of Nigeria will be satisfied to grant us license to operate in that respect. Under that situation, the pool of money pooled will give the managers the opportunity to make much more investment, much more profit to be generated, and everybody will be better off. As of now, in other countries such as Indonesia and Malaysia, where the scheme has taken off fully, they are able to subsidize the cost of Hajj for intending pilgrims. As I say, for example, we were informed by their officials when we had a meeting with them after last Hajj. They told us they subsidize the cost of Hajj by about 60% to individuals. Why? Because they are making a lot of profits from the pool of money generated and invested. They make a lot of profit. And this profit gives them the opportunity to stabilize the cost of Hajj and even subsidize it. It's not the government that is subsidizing, but that fund management from the profit. So they subsidize the cost of Hajj. So for the first 5 years also, pilgrims in those countries are not aware of the yearly escalation of the cost of Hajj, different from what we are experiencing here in Nigeria, simply because our exchange rate is so poor. And the cost of living all over the world keeps on increasing. Okay. So cost of Hajj keeps on increasing in Nigeria, but in their countries they make it stable because they are subsidizing it from the profit they are generating from their investments.
Thank you very much, sir. That is well said. When we come back from the break, you are going to quickly shed more light on the additional $100 that intending pilgrims have been asked to pay. The reason for that. Let's go on break.
This call to prayer is sponsored by the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Let's call to prayer.
Talk to us on 93.7 Citizen FM. Talk to us on 93.7 Citizen FM. لبيك اللهم لبيك.
You are welcome back, listeners, on our program, your program, Guest of Allah, on 93.7 Citizen FM Abuja. Our father is with us, Hajj Abdullah Magaji Habdawa, the Commissioner in charge of Operation, Inspectorate and Licensing, National Hajj Commission, who has been with us on this program. Please, sir, before we went on break, we asked a question that we are aware that intending pilgrims have been asked to pay additional $1,000. What is this money meant for?
Yes, it came out of necessity. Our listeners may be aware there is a military kind of hostility in the Republic of Sudan and not in Nigeria. Usually, aircraft flying from Nigeria or even West African countries to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they traverse through the airspace of the Sudan. Now, because of that military activities taking place there is security concern. The airspace has been closed to traffic. And here in Nigeria, the Office of the National Security Advisor has written to us, drawing our attention of the kind of risk involved in conveying pilgrims through Sudan. Even though the authorities there have, even on their own, closed the airspace. So Hajj cannot be delayed or postponed until when this hostility is over. the airspace is cleared. We cannot wait. Therefore, it is incumbent upon all concerned to find another way of routing the flights. And because of that, we requested the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to advise us on the implication of this rerouting of the airplanes. And they did their own calculation and came up with indications that there would be additional flying hours, and so many other countries would have to be crossover. And all these amounts to additional expenses on the part of the airlines that would increase their operating cost, in the sense that these additional flying hours ranging from 1.5 to 2 or up to 3 hours, depending on the route selected, means additional consumption of aviation fuel. And also, usually when you go over airspace of a country, certain amount of money is paid as overflying charges.
Okay.
And so if you are going over several other countries, it means multiple payments for overflying charges.
Okay.
So cumulatively, this will amount to a higher cost of operation on the part of the airlines. So the airlines raised a flag on that, and they indicated their desire for an increment in the cost of ticket for Hajj.
Okay.
And also the NECAA, we requested them, they gave us a guideline, some kind of benchmark, and which seemed to be in tandem with the request of the airlines.
Okay.
And it was so high, we felt that we had to appeal to the airlines to appreciate the situation. The pilgrims, the intended pilgrims, were informed of the fare payable, which is they paid. All they were waiting is to be airlifted to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the Hajj, only to be told there would be additional cost.
All right.
And moreover, we don't have the time. Even the cost of Hajj, when it was approved and announced, it took time for the pilgrims to pay. Because usually the bulk of the pilgrims are subsistence farmers, petty traders, really generating additional fund to pay within a very, very short time may not be realistic. So we sat down with the airlines, we appealed to them, we invoke all kinds of sentiments and reasons for them to come down, in which we eventually settled at additional $250 per pilgrim across board, irrespective of the distance to Saudi Arabia.
Thank you very much.
So $250 is enormous, really, to our pilgrims. And taking into consideration the time factor, the only way is for us to approach the government. So government accepted to further waive some of the taxes to the airlines to make things easier for them. And the Hajj Commission also looked inward to find ways of sharing the burden of this additional cost. And the pilgrim obviously may have to share certain part of it, which we agreed to be $100. To $100 at this material time is not feasible to collect it from the intended pilgrims. So the easiest way and much more convenient for all parties concerned is to settle on the basic traveling allowance, BTA, which has been built in the Hajj package, amounting to $800.
Okay.
So we are taking $100 off that BTA.
Oh, mashallah.
And that is only for a period if in the event the airspace of Sudan is cleared before the commencement, then the pilgrims would be refunded fully.
Thank you.
If it is before the second phase, then maybe half of it or whatever.
Thank
so it's just to cover the additional cost.
Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate you. We actually wanted to have you for like 30 minutes, but because you came late, we couldn't do that. Hopefully, we are going to have you again, perhaps next week, before you travel, embark on your journey to the Holy Land, inshallah. Having come this far, listeners all over Nigeria, we have come to the end of today's program. Our guest of Allah on 93.7 Citizen FM Abuja. Until we come your way again tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
93.7 Citizen FM.
Let's talk about it on our favorite radio station.
We're more than just a radio station. We are a part of your life.
This is 93.7 Citizen FM, Abuja. Time for news on the hour.